Hi, this is Eric Erb from the Eric Erb Show Live. You can find me online at theericerbshow.com and, of course, on twitter.com and on anchor.fm. Anchor provides you the complete app with all the tools you need to have your own free podcast. That's anchor.fm, and you can find me at anchor.fm/The Eric Erb Show Live. I'd love to have you for followers. All right, let's get right back into the news here. I've been following this global, they're saying it's not a pandemic yet. They're not even saying it's an epidemic yet. But the numbers beg to differ. I've been following the coronavirus out of Wuhan, China. I've been following this for about just shy of 2 weeks. I've been really following it around the clock the last week or so that the virus has spread. What I'm reading now is in the headlines, and this is a different news, but this is quoting Al Jazeera News out of China. Al Jazeera is reporting the Chinese coronavirus could become an epidemic, and it could become an epidemic very quickly. The public experts in Hong Kong on Monday has raised the alarms. You know, there's thousands more carriers of the deadly coronavirus in China and called for a draconian travel to curb the ban anybody flying in or out of China. So they're having travel bans, obviously. And right now, and of course, these numbers probably will change. They'll change within a couple of hours. They're changing very, very quickly over in China. China's confirmed they got about 106 deaths, including the first death in the capital of Beijing. So obviously with the Chinese New Year that they just had, everybody's traveling. They're traveling all over the world. These people have spread, and forgive me for saying this, but the people with the Chinese New Year, the Chinese has spread all over, just like cockroaches. I mean, no offense to anybody out there. If there's Chinese listeners, I apologize, but literally like cockroaches. And people do that. They're celebrating the New Year's, their New Year, the Chinese New Year. I understand that. I got it. You know, it's kind of that way over here on the 4th of July. A lot of Americans get in their car, or they jump on a plane, or they travel sometimes during the holidays and stuff like that, or during the 4th of July. So I got that. I totally got that. So my apologies there. But again, that's kind of to illustrate a point at people are just spreading out like cockroaches, and everybody, the disease is just spreading all over the place. There's about 4,505 or 515, infections, with about, they're saying 1,700 confirmed cases. And again, I'm quoting Al Jazeera News, and that's in today's news, Al Jazeera. There's several other countries now, including Germany, France, South Korea, Japan, Nepal, Thailand, Taiwan, Australia, of course, here in the United States, Singapore, Vietnam has also confirmed that there's cases there. So they're saying, because originally in Wuhan, China, I've followed several stories. They are saying that the processes in the actual lab that started this, the containment lab where they're doing the bio experiments on animals, is not very good. I guess they've been cited or they've been warned several times. The SARS virus got out. And again, that was China was responsible for the SARS virus. If you go back a couple years, they're saying that this virus has gone from animal to human, and they say back to animal, back to human. But right now, the report is it's just being conducted. It's no longer an animal. Okay, so we can kind of take that off the board. It's just being spread from human to human to human to human as the virus, the coronavirus mutates. And so that's very disturbing. As many as 44,000 people have already been affected with the virus that first emerged in Chinese city of Wuhan. And that's very, very scary. And that number could double by the end of the week. And again, I'm quoting this stuff. I'm quoting this article, this very detailed article in Al Jazeera News today. It's very, very, very scary. The disease can spread that quick. And the thing about it is most people, 99% of the people, don't know that they're infected. You're not going to see the results. You're not going to see, excuse me, you're not going to see the actual signs of the virus until it's too late. You'll start to first come down with a fever. Once you come down with a fever, you start come down with a cough. Then the signs will be there. And anybody that's ever had bronchitis or especially pneumonia out there listening to this podcast can maybe relate. Your lungs start to fill up with fluid. So let me just break this down a little bit. You first get a fever. After the fever, you start to get a cough. The lungs start to fill up with fluid, and it's almost like you're drowning from the inside out. You're drowning literally because your lungs are made, obviously, to hold air. Everybody knows that. That's common sense. When you start to put fluid in your lungs don't function anymore. You will not get air to your body, and you cannot breathe, and you literally just suffocate. And so a lot of people don't realize that. And right now they're pretending and they're saying that, they're working on a cure, and they've come out with this crap and this BS over in China saying, oh yeah, we're working on a cure. We've cured 34 or 44 people right now. Well, the fact of the matter is they don't have a cure. Okay. They don't have a cure for this. And the fact of the matter is this virus is deadly. I've also had some news sources confirmed, and I'm going to reconfirm this because I don't like to spread propaganda, or there's lots of fake news on the airways. So I'm going to confirm that this coronavirus is just being called a coronavirus just out of fear. They don't want the American people and this population, especially all around the world, to really know what this virus is. But this virus is being called corona, or a new strain of corona, just so it doesn't alarm the public. But really, this virus is something very different. And again, I'm checking my sources and my resources and different things like that. And I'll do a report either later on or tomorrow once I follow up and double verify what I've been told. But the virus is spreading like wildfire all over the United States. They're saying anywhere from 25,000 to 26,000 people could already be infected with the coronavirus, and some people not even showing signs are already affected. And it's spreading, and estimated what they're saying is this could, and again, I'm not trying to be an alarmist or not trying to freak somebody out or a conspiracy theorist. I'm just simply stating facts based on a factual news argument. Over in China, if you know the culture a little bit, I've had the privilege, and I got to know somebody very, very well that came from Beijing. So this was quite a few years ago. So I do understand the culture a little bit. I'm not an expert by any means, way, shape, or form, but I do know the culture. And again, Asian culture in general, a lot of Asians like to save face. So if something goes bad, an experiment goes bad, obviously this sure as hell went bad. Something went bad. Chinese likes to save face. Asian culture likes to save face. So, excuse me, whatever the numbers are always going to be lower on their end, not actual numbers. So if I go back and I look at, and let's say they're saying that there is a total of China's confirming 106 people dead. That number you can probably expect. You can probably add maybe another 50 people, maybe another 100 people. They're not going to give you the real numbers because they're embarrassed. It's gotten out of control. It's spreading all over the world. Let's face it, they fucked up. But rather than sit here and blame everybody, we need to solve this, and we need to cure. We need to find a cure, and we need to find a cure now before it kills half of the population. Again, some high numbers here. They're saying that an estimated 56 million people have been ordered on lockdown in China. And this is over 20 cities that contain the virus. I mean, it's just spreading all over the place, and they just can't contain it. That's the bottom line. There's nothing they can do. No masks are going to help. Again, back in 2002 to 2003, the severe acute respiratory syndrome, also known as SARS, killed hundreds of people. And this is 1,000,000 times worse than that. So I pray for the people all over the world. I pray for the people in China and every country that has it, including here in the United States. We must put aside our differences right now and fight this global pandemic terror. These governments aren't telling us, we, the people, all over the world. I'm not just talking to the people in the United States, all over the world now. And we must bond together and share information and beat this disease, beat this pandemic, beat this epidemic. Because this is flowing all over the world. They can't stop it. The cures that they're telling people, it's nothing but a bunch of BS. It's not true. Maybe they didn't contract the disease to begin with anyway and was misdiagnosed. But to my knowledge, there is no cure. And again, I have good resources, good information. There is no cure. They might say there's a cure to calm the people so we don't get in a global panic. But again, there is no cure. So God help us all. We must pray for one another, and we also must work together. That's the only way we're going to beat this epidemic. This is Eric Erb for the Eric Erb Show Live. If you like this podcast and you like the message, you can always donate to anchor.fm/The Eric Erb Show Live. I would love to have you. Any donations is greatly appreciated so that can keep me on the air around the clock. I can give you and bring you good stories and good, solid, reliable, credible information. Again, anchor.fm/The Eric Erb Show Live. You can find me online at theericerbshow.com and find me on twitter.com/The Eric Erb Show. This is Eric Erb signing off, and I'll talk to you soon. Have a good night.